discipline and self-control, discipline in youthful desire. And I teach today our own brother, Barris, and today I pray that we give him our own undivided attention. So at the end of the class, we are going to learn something that will be impactful to us and even to the society too. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, brethren. I would like. I'm trying to. Is there a throw pillow or something I can just so I can have it like this? What about that table? Eh? We can manage the table. We can actually manage that table to be like this now, see? So if I have to hold the mic, my hand has to be free. So I need to balance this somewhere. Join him and carry that one. That's better. All right, good evening, everyone. How's the series been so far? Nice, right? Okay. Well, somebody tell us what the topic of today is. Just, what's the topic of today? Sir? Sir? That's the theme. Now, what's today's topic? Cheetah. What's today's topic? They are calling me to find out where I am. You don't know what I'm coming to tell you. All right. Self-control and discipline in youthful desire. Self-control and discipline in youthful desire. So we're going to be discussing with one another. I think I like the sitting arrangement, so it is conversation-like. I wish I didn't have to hold this microphone. It's needed for... Yeah, I understand. Sorry? I can... Okay. All right. I want to believe I understand what is required of me. And so I've put together what I think we are supposed to hear under this particular topic. Will I be correct if I say the theme thus far is trying to manage us as far as relationship with the opposite sex is concerned? Am I correct? Am I in order? All right. So, if in that context, I think I'm shouting. If in that context, we say self-control and discipline in youthful desire, we are talking about how we manage ourselves, how we control ourselves with persons of the opposite sex. As a young man, how do I position myself, behave myself, manage myself where the lady is? And as a young lady, how do I behave myself or position myself, control myself, right? When I'm around in my relationship with the male counterparts. And so we have said this evening that the word desire is not inherently an evil word. So you cannot come to somebody and say, if somebody comes to confide in you and says, I'm having so and so desire, you cannot, it will be hypocritical of you to tell him, You, get behind me, you Satan. Why are you having desires? Right? Because these are on their own, they are not inherent evil. Right? There are emotions or things that exist, but the question is, how do we use them and how do we manage them? For whom should we have them and for who should we not have them? Right? It is not an evil thing, because everything God created was what? Was good. Did the devil create anything? Are we told in the Bible that the devil created anything? As far as creation is concerned, everything that was created was good. But the devil had a way of doing what? Manipulating God's creation to create evil out of it. Right? So these things we are talking about have existed right from time. Right? And God created these things for the benefit of man. So desire on its own is not supposed to be a bad thing. Right? But desire could be evil. Right? When we say lust is usually connoted, or usually connotes something that is indecent, something that is above what is required, something that is above what is proper. So you can actually lust after someone, you can lust after power, and you can lust after what? After money, after riches. At that point, when you lust after it, then it becomes a challenge. Right? So desire is so strong that it can make or mar a Christian. It can make you, it can destroy you if you are not careful. And so we have described it here as a wild horse. Right? Have you seen a wild horse before? When a horse that is not tamed by a particular farm, right? Different horses have different uses. If you go and take a farm horse, the one they use in pulling or plowing the mow or pulling heavy duty equipment, and bring that horse, you want to come and use that horse to play polo, right? In the polo club, that horse under the circumstance will become what? Wild. Right? Or you bring a horse that hunters use, they use in pursuing, other animals in the bush. You want to go and bring it, to come and bring to the beach. They used to put people on top to take picture and ride. That horse will become what? A wild horse under the circumstance. So that is how desire can be if it's not cultured, if it's not addressed, and if it's not tamed and placed in the right circumstance. Right? You see that thing they put on horses' head, around the ear and all that? That's what we call the bridle. Right? It's called the bridle. That's what the whatever is attached to. And the horse rider uses it to do what? To control the horse. Right? So, we are talking about self-control. We're talking about discipline. We're talking about desire. Now, self-control, right, is the bridle with which a Christian, adult, old, infant, baby, or youth will use in controlling that wild horse called what? Desire. The bridle is the self-control is the Christian bridle to maintain discipline, to put the horse in check. Right? So we need to understand that wild horse to be able to what? Bridle it. We need to understand our desire to be able to what? Put it in check. Now, let's look at the concept of lust. We mentioned it earlier that lust is a strong and often uncontrolled desire or an intense, passionate longing. Right? Intense, passionate longing beyond what is expected. Right? That is why people go as much as possible to I want that man's car, I want his money. You lust after his riches and break into his house. Right? What was David's problem? He was on the roof of his house and saw what? Another man's wife. So we will distinguish between lust and love. Oh, I like this man's wife, right? If you like the man's wife, you would have what? Left her alone for her what? Her husband. So what David had was what? Was lust. Lust, he got to that level because he did not do what? Use his self-control to do what? To bridle his horse, which is his desire, to discipline himself. And so he found himself where, he went home, he sat down, he was thinking, he was reminiscing. Who is that woman that I saw? They say it's so and so person's wife. Right? That's where love and lust, you draw a dichotomy. Right? Love for humanity, love for your neighbor, love for your army. Oh, is that the wife of my army who has gone to war? You say yes, okay. Send her 12 baskets of potato. Send her maybe some chicken, right? Let her be okay before her husband comes back from war. But what did he do? Rather than think of how to take care of his subject's wife, he did what? He lust after her. That is what lust can do. And we know how the story unfolded and how lust, or where lust took David to, right? From there, it took him to sleepless nights. From there, it took him to unwanted pregnancy. From there, it took him to murder. And from there, he took it to sanctioned by God, right? From there, it took him to the birth of a particular child. From there, it took him to the death of a child, mourning and what have you. And we all know the story. So that is what uncontrolled desire, when we do not discipline our desire with self-control, those are the the excesses that we can suffer. We say that lust, while love is giving, that's why I said, if David loved Bathsheba, am I right? That was her name, right? If David loved Bathsheba, he would have said, oh, go and give her potato. Take some meat to her. But what did he have? He had an abusive desire, right? Which was lust. And then he committed a series of he committed. So we say here that lust is biological, right? It's an itch that when scratched, usually just itches more. They say there are certain insects rather, when they bite you, they say no need to, if you can hold yourself, don't scratch it. Because if you scratch it, instead of reducing the problem, the thing will what? It increase. That is what happens when we try to satisfy lust, right? It always leads to more. We are talking about these concepts: discipline, self-control, desire, balancing them in the context of relationships with persons of the other opposite sex, so male to female, female to male, whether as casual friends, whether in a relationship or whatever circumstance. How do we manage ourselves, right? The term in the context of courtship or friendship with the opposite sex, the term wants, right? Passion, desire, love, they are natural, they are physical, they are emotional and social yearnings that draw you toward a partner. However, without a compass, right, these desires can become idols that override spiritual judgments. Hence, they need to be guided. They need to be put in serious check. That's why we talked about the leash with which you should control them. They are not things you can just say, oh, it doesn't matter now, I know myself, let me leave it like that, right? Nobody knows himself actually, right? So that's why you have to draw boundaries, because you never can tell if you cross a particular level what will happen. I'm sure David also thought that he knew himself, and at the end of the day, see where he found himself. I'm not going to read much, but I'll take Bible passages. So let's see 2 Timothy chapter 2. We'll read verse 22. Well, you see how Paul was, advising Timothy. Right? Paul understood. Why is the church doing this? why has the church sat down to say, oh, let us bring up this topic to assist our youth? Because the church understands the difficulty of this age, the urges, the intensity, the misguided passion, right? The unruly desire that can befall us at this age, right? Timothy also saw, Paul saw that then also, just as the way the church has decided to do it, and was admonishing Timothy at the time. So let's see what Paul said to Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 42.
22 and I read. So shun youthful passion and aim at righteousness, faith, love, and peace, alongside with those who call upon the Lord from a pure heart.
Okay, we'll take that one after the other. Shun youthful passion, right? Okay. He did not say youthful passion will not come, right? But what is he saying? That when it comes, you should not what? Don't give attention to it, right? Shun it, right? Read on.
23.
No. You just read a sentence. So you just said shun youthful passion. So continue. We are reading 22.
Shun youthful passion and aim at righteousness.
Okay. And do what? Aim at righteousness. He didn't say shun youthful passion and go and sit down. Right? Because something must replace something. So it says shun youthful passion, but rather do what? Aim at righteousness. One is on the left, one is on the right. Or one is on the right and the other is on the left. He says shun this one, but do what? You should aim at righteousness. In other words, youthful passion is not what? Righteous. So it says shun it and do what? Aim at righteousness. Continue.
Faith, love, and peace.
Okay. Faith, love, and peace. Then he says something else.
Alongside with those who call upon the Lord from a pure heart.
Thank you very much. Alongside with those who call upon the Lord with what? With a pure heart. Right? It's not say alongside with those who play Bet Niger. It's not say alongside with those who are in the club. It's not say alongside with those who are under the bridge. Now only God knows what they are doing there. Right? Alongside with those who have the same reasoning, intensity, and capacity as yourself. Alongside with those who are pursuing the same goal as yourself. Because if you try to do it with those who do not believe in what you believe in, you are not going to get results. That's why somebody like me, if I want to discuss God with or Christianity with anybody, immediately you tell me I do not believe in God, I'll leave you and go. Because our conversation is going to be useless. There's no basis for our conversation, right? So it says, do these things with those persons who also have the same belief that you have, who have this foundation that you have. Paul did not say, Timothy, negotiate with youthful passion. Just test it. You know, we do it a lot. I heard some people, somebody came and told me one time and said, okay, it was our staff in the office at some time. He said he was going to do evangelism. He's a member of one of these churches. He said, where are you going to do evangelism? He mentioned one place around Okpebi where there are a whole lot of females, and I'm like, why are you deceiving yourself? In all the places in the world, you not see next office to do evangelism. You want to go to a den of females. That's what you want to do evangelism. Say yes, I want to capture their soul. I want to whatever. Then I asked him later what happened. He said it was fine. It was somebody else that told me later that they were the ones that now evangelized to him in their own way. They converted him. It took him a while before he was able to. So he realized. Later he was telling me that he realized that he was not strong enough to go into their. I said you can never be strong enough to go into their midst, right? So don't negotiate with it, right? Let's talk about we're talking about desire. We're talking about youthful passion. Then we're talking about discipline and self-control. How do we discipline ourselves? How do we control ourselves? One of the things we can do is to what? To avoid. To what? To flee. Right? One of the most upright individuals we read about in the Bible was who? Was Joseph. We remember his encounter with Potiphar's wife. What did he do? We are told that he fled. Now, we are in a world where visibility has become very pronounced, right? We want to be in certain places. I look at my people here sometimes. I see their status, and I just reply with a smile. And when I smile, they smile back at me. You know why they know why I smile. I'm smiling at you because what do you do for that place where you be now? So, and they know that's the meaning of my smile. It's not just about the place, it's about the persons that you are hanging out with. There are some persons you chill with, there are some persons you stay with. You can't, oh, I am so strong. I am the one, don't worry. I am Holy Spirit from head to toe. Anything they say now, so I got to bounce on. It's a lie, right? Don't throw yourself, don't test yourself unnecessarily. When the devil went to Jesus Christ and said, turn stone to become bread, cast yourself, he will send his angels to this. He could have done any of those things, but what did he say? He said, depart from, do not tempt the Lord thy God. He did not test himself and say, let me just be after around Jesus Christ, right? So, the Bible suggests that we should make ourselves scarce from these kind of places, right? In true discipline, we should flee from youthful lust and rather embrace what? Faith, love, peace. With those who are of a pure heart as we are. With those who are of like mind. Amos 3:3 says what? Two cannot work together except to do what? Agree. When you say let's follow here, we say let's follow here, let's follow here, follow here. We will not what? We will not agree. It's okay to disagree, right? Now, the flee strategy. Fleeing is an active, disciplined choice. Whether as just a friend. You know just a friend. You know that person that is just a friend. You don't know the person. I know you have just a friend. So I ask you, now is that person? So it's just a friend. Right? Now, the flee strategy, right? Whether it's from that person that is just a friend, whether it's the person is an acquaintance, I just know him somehow, right? Or it's somebody you're in a courtship relationship with. You have to set physical boundaries. For example, avoiding secluded places or late night unmonitored settings, right? Before the heat of the moment sets in. At times we know these things, right? You get up from your house, you want to go and see John. You know what is going to happen in John's house. Inside your mind, that mind is telling you, don't go to John's house, don't go to Emmanuel's house, don't go to Peter's house, don't go to Favor's house. Not me. But that quiet mind is saying, don't go. You are listening, you are hearing it, say, I beg, let me just go. Right? Or rather, go in the morning, you say, no, I want to go in the evening, or go in the afternoon. In the afternoon, the mother is in the market. In the afternoon, the father has carried his taxi, is going to work. In the afternoon, it's only John that is at home. It is that afternoon that you choose in your heart to go. You want to do what? You want to test your capacity and test your ability. Joseph did not wait to test what he could achieve with Potiphar's wife and say, now, is it not me, the dreamer? Let me see what he's going to do. What did he do? He took off. He ran away. So we are saying, avoid those circumstances that will even compromise you at all. And do what? Run away. Yeah? You see, discipline is difficult. When you say, right, some people have disciplined themselves to an extent where they can do certain things. If you have not been able to take that, it's not palatable, it's not enjoyable, it's not to just discipline myself. It's hard, right? It takes a process. It will seem like it's taking away your freedom, not allowing you to do certain things. Right? Look at, for instance, in the house, when you tell your child, don't go there, don't follow here, come inside the house. It's restrictive. The child is not happy. You see, grumbling, oh, what is it? Is it not my mates that are there? Is it not, I just want to go there and come back? Many believe that discipline restricts freedom. But the Bible teaches that discipline creates the only kind of freedom worth living. When you are disciplined, you become free. The freedom to live according to your values rather than your impulse. When you are disciplined and you are no longer a slave to your emotions, you are free. Right? So the process that gets you to that level is not taking away your freedom, it's disciplining you. That's why the Bible says in Hebrews that no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. We cannot overemphasize the example that we saw in Joseph. We used David as an example just now, didn't we? How he saw Potiphar's wife. We also have Joseph, who is a positive example for us to use. Right? And we are saying that when confronted with Joseph, when confronted with the seductive advances of Potiphar's wife, he did not negotiate. Say, madam, wait now. He did not linger to see if he could handle it. He physically fled. Like he actually took up. Right? That was discipline on the part of Joseph. Right? So don't see it as a weakness rather. When you find yourself in such a compromising position, right, it is safe for you to run away. The short-term sacrifice of displeasure because if he had stayed, he would probably have gotten certain benefits. He would have been Madam's right-hand man, sinning against God and against his master. But he's fled. He suffered it anyway, but at the end of the day, on the long run, he was great for it. Right? Now, when we say there is one, excuse me, there's one concept that is at times tricky to understand, and that is self-control. When you say, we hardly talk about it. Talk about love, faith, kindness, and a whole lot of self-control, which is kind of pivotal to every other fruit of the Spirit, is scarcely dwelt on, right? And our topic is talking about capturing our desires, subduing our desire with discipline and what? And self-control. How do we exercise that self-control? We have mentioned earlier that we talked about the horse, the aggressive horse. We said if you take a horse from the farm, the one they use in pulling or dragging animals, and you want to go and carry the horse to the beach, to go and use that same horse they use in carrying animals in the bush, to go and use the horse to carry to the beach for people to take pictures. That horse will throw people away, right? So these horses are trained, and what the horse rider usually uses as a leash is the bridle. That thing you see they put on the face of, there is no decoration. That's what they used to hold the horse, to put the horse in control. So when the rider of the horse has used that to train the horse over and over and over again, they can confidently remove it at some point, and the horse starts to behave and understand the routine. It's like a dog too. When you bring a dog, you put the dog on a chain and you're dragging the dog down, up and down this rope. And when you do that for like 2 weeks, you can now bring the dog out and remove the leash, and remove the dog will follow you, because the dog has been disciplined. You abuse your leash to control, the dog. So we are saying that we do not rely on our willpower, right? We rely on self-control as a fruit of the Spirit when we read Galatians 5 from 23, right? While willpower is a limited human resources that eventually fails, how long can you really struggle? How long can you put yourself in danger and expect to succeed? Spiritual self-control is a byproduct of being connected to God. That is what does it for us at the end of the day. But you will not say, oh, I'm a baptized member of the Lord's Church. Of course, I haven't been baptized at the water of baptism. The Holy Spirit was given unto me, and so I have self-control. Now I want to go inside a chalet to go and do evangelism. Right? Some people can, but are you able to? How strong are you? Oh, I can't go home. Let me spend the night in Sister, I go and call one name here now. Sister Amarachi's house. Right? I know that nothing will happen. Right? We know that nothing will happen, but we are saying help yourself and also help Sister Amarachi. Sister Amarachi, instead of going to sleep in the church or look for Sister Clara, rather than going to test the strengths that you have not checked, you don't know whether you have it. Right? We agree that you have self-control, but we are saying these desires can be unruly. Right? They can take you to where you do not understand. So in other words, avoid them while you exercise self-control. And to do that, you need to flee. To do that, you need to discipline yourself. And to do that, you need to also watch your association. We need to have the athlete mindset. Let's read 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25 to 27.
Everyone who competes in the game goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Therefore, I do not run like someone running aimlessly. I do not fight like a boxer beating the head. No, I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize.
All right. It is not. It says he considers himself an athlete. Read 25 again.
Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training.
Yes. Do you know what strict training is? Right? You know what strict training is? When you see footballers, when they play ball, you go, how is he able to just zero, you just play the penalty from like this, from here, you see you go enter inside the goal, right? Until you watch their training 7 a.m. in the morning till maybe around 11, go and rest a bit and come back, right? For one whole month. Some specific diets, they can't eat this, they can't eat that, they can't do this, they can't do that, punishing their body so that they can achieve that thing. But when they are playing, that is very interesting. How much they sign Ronaldo? It's $100 billion US, the money. But do you know what he went through to get there? Right? And actually Joshua is in the box, it's very sweet. They look at how have you seen him training? If you take one of his blows, that's the end. Right? It takes a lot for them to get there. So the discipline is not sweet when they are, but at the end of the day, what kind of result does it yield? Right? Rather than take that small benefit that you can get there and there. See, one trainer don't come now. You want to be like this guy now. Right? Go and watch him when he's training. Right? At times, I read the material. And a woman was playing. Where they say a woman was playing a piano, an aged woman, was playing the piano, and then a younger person came to sit by her and was admiring her. And after she finished playing, the woman said, the young lady told the woman, madam, I would just like to be like you. The woman said, no, you will not like to be like me. You just like what you see me doing. Because if I show you the process it took me to get here, you will not want to be like me. So if they show you the process that it took to get where it is, you say to carry his muscle and go. Right? So that's what training does. That's what disciplining your body does. At the end of the day, the result becomes palatable. Now, we'll always go back to Joseph. Perhaps he had enjoyed that few moments that he was offered by the madam. Perhaps his salary increased. Perhaps he was now madam's PA. He would definitely have been caught. Right? And then that prison he went to for refusal, he still would have gone to that prison. But he went to prison for doing the right thing and came out of prison to become what? Exactly. So that's what we are talking about. So we used to describing how an athlete does it, describing how we should subject our body to punishment so that at the end of the day we will come out better with better gratification. Now, our movement should be purposeful. Paul mentions that he does not run uncertainly. If an athlete does not run, they say 100-meter race, this is where I'm going to stop. He doesn't beat the air like somebody who doesn't know what they are doing. I remember one time I took my children to go and I'll drive all the way from Odudubega to Allen. Let me be a good father. Bring my children. They came to register them to play football at Allen. I did it for about a month. I realized that if they are playing the ball, this is where the ball is. They are playing. Everybody is running. And some will be running he will run from the beginning of the match to the end of the after he will be tired. He did not touch one ball. This is where they are playing the ball. But running everywhere, just running. I just told myself, this is a waste of time and venture. It is not, that's what Paul is saying. His own race is purposeful. In Lagos, say, everybody just begin run. You just go stand up, run down. When you get there, you not ask each other, why you run? What did they pursue? That's not the type Paul is talking about, right? That his race is like that of an athlete, which has purpose, because he knows that the reward is certain. That at the end of the day, this is the result that he's going to get out of it. So, in your relationship, you should have clear goals like an athlete. Why am I coming to your house 7 p.m. in the evening? Just come. Right? You have to be intentional about your relation. Okay, we can even understand those who say they are in courtship. They should also even watch their association. You should help yourself. No, let us not go to. One person has to assist the other. No, let's not go. Let's go to where people are. Right? No, let's just we'll discuss in church after closing. See you on Wednesday or see you. That's, like I said, I see some status, right, of some of my people here, and I just say hello, and the person understands the meaning of my hello, right? You can, for your age and where you are in life, those places are not suitable, are not palatable for you. Even if you sit down there and in that place, what you are reading is the Bible. It's a lie, it's not entering. Do you understand? Oh, big Bible, don't open it there. You are sitting down where there are, see somebody on stage, you are reading in the book of Ephesians, is a lie. So there are some places you should not even bother to go to. If the person says, let us meet in so and so place, tell him, I think so and so area is better. I've had the opportunity of asking somebody, like, this has happened now, right? Are you happy? He said, no, I'm not happy. You are sad. I said, well, don't dwell in your sadness. It has happened, it has happened. You need to get up, wash yourself, and move forward. But I asked a question. I really want you to tell me that this happened as a result of a rape incident. Tell me you were raped. I said, but I will not lie to you. It was not rape. And I kept quiet. What happened? And the explanation will make you understand that some persons were at the wrong place at the what? At the wrong time. If we had just decided to say, let's stand under flower in the afternoon, or let's just be here, or let's just be there, certain things might probably have not happened. No, you don't. So I have a thick skin. We were discussing an issue about some years ago down there, and a brother said, we had a young preacher who had come from, he had actually even attended our Bible school in the East, and there were issues of having, whether pregnancy, somebody. So when we were discussing, somebody said, that's why I like myself. This can never be my challenge as a Christian. We were discussing more, so I didn't have strength to start arguing with him, like whether, this can never, you as where they look like this can never be your challenge, okay, we agree, but still stay away from those places that can even make it a bit, difficult. That's what we are trying to say, so that we will not be saying, I don't know, I just say I strong before, right? Self-control isn't about being boring, right? So if they not say self-control, you now say, okay, come on, no, leave me alone, no, another, no. Self-control is not about being boring, right? It's about the power of mastery. You get to a level, there are some books you still give me now that I will not read. But if you give them to the preacher, I will read them and nothing will happen. There are times I think of certain things. Have you sat down? At times you'll be thinking, God, who born God? How you take come? Have you? Has it happened to you? And you just quickly tap your brain and say, God forgive me for my thinking, God forgive me for my thinking, like, right? There are some persons who have gone beyond. They can't ask that question again. They've gotten it, they've understood it. Right? So you're not going to give me one book that I'm not going to explain what I'm looking for to me. I'll have a problem. Right? So we're talking about mastery. What did Paul say? He said he would rather that everybody was like him because he knows himself. But if you cannot, what should you do? Have your own wife. But what are we saying? Until that time comes, as a youth, what should I do so that I do not jeopardize my future? That's what we are talking about, right? We should learn to let self-control overshadow our desire and our emotions, right? There are three things I want us to quickly, take. We will be running up shortly. Now, I call them the 3 pillars of mastery. To navigate youthful desires, you need a strategy that covers 1, your mind, 2, your environment, 3, your habits, right? Take care of your mind, right? It's not just okay for you to take care of your mind. Take care of your what? Your environment, and then take care of your habits. Guard the gateways. Where is the gateway to your person? Is where? In your mind. The Bible says, do not be deceived, for evil communication does what? Corrupt good manners. What you feed grows. You constantly, what do you consume in the media? When you hold this phone, what do you consume? No, okay, fine, of course, data. But when you are here, where are you? That's why, if you look at I saw a presentation, somebody posted something on my school alumni platform, and I got to learn that the TikTok we are able to access here, you can't access it in China. Their contents are what? They are restricted, right? So when we are looking at, we see TikTok, you see confraternity. People are in the bush. They are shaking all kind of finger. They are doing sacrifice. They are showing video of where somebody is poisoning somebody. Nonsense things. If you go to some countries where these things are controlled, you see TikTok where a child is doing phone. No. They have coupled the phone. Power bank. Doing a vehicle. It's moving. Our TikTok, you see where somebody will enter granite and fly in the night. That's the one they used to show us here, right? So the content you consume matters. Where do you spend time? Look at talking about this social media. Where do you? I have to caution myself. I look at Facebook. One day I now started rat. I'm like, have I become a rat without knowing it? Right? I said I'll be holding my phone. I'll be walking about rat BDM this that. I said, what is it? I don't do. Maybe it's my phone and my data, right? Before you know it, it carries you away. So when you're on this thing, when you put on the TV, what do you? My children, there's one noise I hear in my house. They call it anime. Somebody will be talking and explaining. They say they are good ones, they are bad ones. But I told them that voice is annoying. You know, when I'm the father, I'm the owner of the house, Abi. I'll sit down. The thing is annoying me. I'll go and look at. I'll see that it's something nice they are looking at. But I hate the voice. So one day I just told them, I don't even care what people are listening. You see this narrative, this voice, I don't want to hear it again. They say, why? I don't have explanation, but it's my TV. I don't want it again. Right? So maybe as I've done that, and maybe they can, you know. So the question is, what do you consume? Right? What images do you see? What conversations do you have? Right? We have people who come on the social media. I have one Benin lady, she's in the UK also. Some of you might have seen her. She confidently comes to tell you that she was trafficked to Italy, how she slept with men, that is her content on social media. People have to complain to say, okay, we need to report you to the UK government because this thing that you are sharing is not aired there. There's a way it's controlled. We are consuming it in Nigeria. Maybe we need to send it to the UK government so that they see what you are giving to us, right? The space is polluted, is contaminated, right? You say this place, I don't want it to be hot again. I don't want it to be hot again. Yet, anytime you light your gas, you put it underneath. What are you going to get here? It's going to be heat. If you have a challenge, excuse me. If you're having a challenge already with what you are struggling with, battling with, then you need to check what you are consuming, either from communication. You can sever your relationship with certain people. You can actually tell them, say, I know they see you may talk better thing, right? Talk about it. Like I tell my children, say, don't you people sit down and discuss Pythagoras theorem? Can't you sit down and say, because that's what we used to do then. We say, I finished chapter 3. You see, you know, these days is one cartoon, one film, one this, one that, one. So the other day I was saying I want to go and look for where I will see old books to buy Eze Goes to School, African Night Entertainment, The Gods Are Not to Blame, those things that molded us when we were growing up. So I went to bookshop. They said they don't have it. How will you stock what schools are not using? I want to go and look for them, Chicken and the River, and give these children to even read. Because from the day they gave birth to them is Ben 10. After Ben 10, every age has the one that they are bringing. There is nothing, I don't know how to explain it. So it's a challenge. So what we can only do is to see how we can minimize and, just reduce this thing. If we can, the one we can do for ourselves, the one we can do for our children, the one we can do for our parents, the one we can. My mom now, if she doesn't put Funke Akindele's program by her pillow and fall asleep with phone by her side, she will not sleep. That's the problem. So say, phone is giving emission. This one is doing, she will ask you emission and my sleep, which one, leave it. When I sleep, you know that I see that I've slept and you're around, come and help it. Leave my emission for me. That's a challenge. Right? Now my mind gets out, people talk and man not go get problem. Right? But the challenge is there. What are we consuming? If you know that this thing is what is generating that bad heat, shift the fire away. what kind of actions can we take? Right? What we should recognize these triggers, right? Be ruthless about the digital environment. That's what we have been talking about. If an app or a specific feed consistently triggers desires you can't manage, it's time to mute it, it's time to unfollow, it's time to delete. I've had to leave certain platforms. I'll sleep angry, wake up angry. I'm going in the day. I just had to send a message this morning. That's negative energy. That's what woke me up. I sent the message as early as 6:30 because that's what woke me up. I called my national president to tell him that a particular character is poisoning the platform with insults and other, and we have resolved that political messages have to stop because the polity is heated. Right? I've had to leave certain platforms, just exit. People come here, why you come out, why you come out? I can't deal anymore. So you can do that. You can go, is it a particular person that gets you in trouble? Leave the person alone. How far na guy? Well, you not see abeg. Babe, you don't come, let's go for last time I follow you, I know what happened. Leave me alone. Right? So those are the little actions that you can take. So is it a particular friend? Right? Sever the relationship. If a situation or environment compromises your integrity, discipline demands an immediate exit. Right? Like I said, we cannot stop using Joseph as an example. Now, when the Bible says, if your right eye or the left eye, which one is up, causes you to sin, you should do what? You should pluck it off. Well, it's a figure of speech, but it's not a joke. And it's not a sentence to be taken lightly. It means be drastic about it. Be brutal in your measure to see that thing is taken care of. It's not something to take with laxity. Well, I'm my guy now, no. I've always been with them since. You need to, your relationship with God, your survival for tomorrow, and these people, which one is paramount? Right? Now, there's something that we do. Do you know what it means to binge? Right? Do you know what it means to binge? To overindulge. B-I-N-G-E. To overindulge in something. Overdo it. Right? That's why you hear some people say they had a binge party because everything was done in excess. I decided to use that word because so at times we just make a mistake. We just fall. We are overtaken, and then we sleep there. Right? If you are walking through a barbed wire or maybe a fence, and a hook picks your shirt and tears it, what do? You just drag it, let it tear everything, abi? You look for the hook and remove it, right? And go and go and do obioma, they'll manage it. If they can sew it, they'll sew. If they can't sew it, they'll patch it, put cloth inside, arrange it, carry your cloth and go. You don't say, oh, since I've fallen, let me just do what? Continue here. Let's read 1 John chapter 2, verse 1. Yes.
My dear children, I write this to you so that you will not sin. But if anybody does sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ, the righteous one.
Thank you very much. Try as much as possible not to. That's why we are talking about all these things. If it does happen, what should you do? Go and meet your God and say, through Jesus Christ, and plead and ask for forgiveness, promising not to go there again. Rather than I don't think I can even go to church again. I don't think I can. You begin to retreat further. That's how we backslide. One upon the other. If you were 10 miles away before, you agree to 20, and what you should do is quickly jump up, dust yourself, and then you what? come back to God. Don't dwell in it. Say, since I don't cuckoo day here, let me just cuckoo, right? Let me end it here. Very importantly, we should not be what? Be idle. Now, we need to stop certain things. We need to avoid certain things. We need to let certain persons go. But do not what? Be idle. For the idle mind, as we say out there, is what? The workshop where the devil, ferments fabricates his food. Right? We know that the nature abhors vacuum. Nothing can exist and is empty. Nothing. It's only a newborn baby. The mind is. We are told that the mind is of the newborn baby is a tabula rasa. But as soon as the memory starts to work, right, the baby starts to memorize things. That it starts to understand. That's why you put light. It recognizes it. It recognizes food, and like that, the mind starts to have memory. So if you feed a particular type of food, when you change it tomorrow and bring another food, you will see even 1 month baby will reject the food because the mind has started to record things that not be this one where they chop things, right? Nature about vacuum. You cannot just be there. You need to occupy your mind with things. What are the things you now want to occupy your mind? That is what we were talking about a while back. What are the materials you consume? We don't read anymore. When was the last time you read a book? When was the last time you took a novel, right? That is or a motivational book to read. When was the last time you were able to be patient enough to listen to a motivational message for 30 minutes, right? Once you just see the message, just scroll it. Once you see Sabinus, you stop and listen to Sabinus. Meanwhile, Sabinus is using to make money. The one that will impact you, you scroll it and pass, right? Our minds need to be occupied. There's a story in the book of Luke 11:23. You can't read now. That talked about where demons were cast out from a person, right? One demon, if I remember the story, one demon was cast out from a person, and checking their territory back. Let's see whether there's anything that we can, enter. And came back and saw that the mind where he left, the place was empty and vacant. And what did he do? Oh, because it was only me that time, that's why they were able to drive me out. What did he do? He went back to work, called 7 of his guys. They were now 8 and entered back that place. What are we told? That the later part of that person, of course, was worse than the earlier part. So don't be idle. Look for something to do. One activity will lead you to another. Don't say, oh, at times we want to start from the top. Right? You want to start and say, you should come and be doing this one. Okay, don't do this one. What are you doing right now? Nothing. So start from here. Do this one first. Gradually, your life will begin to progress. In conclusion, self you can resist or speak to on your own. Right? There's always that person that you can tell to help you ward this person up. Right? Is this thing still on? Take it off a bit. Let me say something.